Good morning. Actually, it's 2:15. Oh, I'm not going to take you on any journeys today. I'm going to I don't know, I'm just going to put some stuff on there and see what goes together. You'll see what I mean when I know what I mean. There's days when we're actually educational. And a lot of it we try to be funny. Okay, I told you about my husband and numbers. I'm going to give him a couple of doozies in my mind, and he's going to give you the process. Well, he's going to solve it, then he's going to give you the process, right?
I don't know.
You don't know. We'll try this. 12 and 3/4 plus 36 and an 8 plus 36 and 8.
48 and 7/8.
48 7/8. Process. How did you get there?
Added 12 and 36, and then 3/4 and an 8 is 7/8.
Okay. In other words, 3/4 is 6/8.
Yeah.
Right. And you added one more.
Yeah.
See, I had to figure it out longer to figure out how he figured it out. But I already knew the problem too. I could give a harder one, but I don't want to put him on the spot too much. Okay, I'm breaking in here. My husband, you couldn't hear him very well on that one, but he has now become known on this channel as Sweet Joe. And he actually likes it. Let's do it without Google. I remember them enough. They're called homonyms. Words that are spelled the same but mean more than one thing. One was a crane. The word crane, C-R-A-N-E. It can be the thing that lifts up things, you know, like those great big pieces of beam, steel beam, they lift way up high. And I've seen a lot of cranes, but those kind where they hang over people's heads over the city, scary stuff. I have not seen that except on TV, thank goodness. Then there's the bird. The bird looks like this little poochy human on sticky legs. I mean, that's the way it stands. It doesn't look human. It just stands that way because, the proud look. And then it's got this long neck, long, and a head that comes around like this with a long little beak. But the head's very tiny. Must not have much of a brain. And then there's the kind where you crane your neck. Probably comes from crane the bird. But you crane your neck to see something. I can crane my neck to try and see over the top of my computer screen, but it doesn't do any good because my eyes don't go loop. I'd have to have two mirrors. And I do scatter in a lot of goofy. Look what I found. I found some fun time. Hello. Give me your money. Now, see the headband? Remember that? Remember we had fun with that? Well, I had fun with it. You hopefully got some laughs out of it. But it's too stretched out to do much with now, except more weird things. So instead, I decided, well, I'll put it on my hat. Because my hat's fun too. So we're having a hat day. Ears sticking out and everything. Which way do I wear it? This way? Yeah. This way. How about this? There we go. Okay. I had to cut short on the one for Glenda Wilson because I goofed myself up. So, Glenda, we are going to try again. In 2066, Glenda Wilson arrived in Toronto, Canada, driving her brand new 1966 Ford Galaxy. Her journey began in Miami, Florida, and took less than 66 seconds. Her pet red-butt baboon made the time jump with her. She'd heard that Canadian iced tea tasted more friendly when properly served. So for the sake of research, she made the dash. When she arrived in Toronto and found a specialty Canadian iced tea shop in the floating business district, but there were 10 more new-looking 1966 Ford Galaxies parked on the street level. She picked up a red-butt baboon named Chucky and placed him in a pen with all the other red-butt baboons. At least none of the other time travelers' 1966 Ford Galaxies were baboon butt red. Okay, word of the day: messy. Oh, okay, these are some pictures of the Flint Hills where I grew up. And I didn't find one of the stone house, but I did find this one of where I grew up, that big old Victorian. That's my brother, my big brother. We have our creative side too. It's called rescue. Darkness engulfs, no oozes, as a creeping oil entity covers everything. Like black permanent marker blots all from sight. The all remains under inky blackness. How do I find brightness? Give me a lens to peer below the black. Or do I look up? Up? Through the dark, a glimmer twinkles on, off, then sustains. A ray reaches, finds me like hands of hope and pulls. A love no blackness can blot out. And I, under melting obsidian, am drawn into blue haze of enlightenment. And that is my poem, Rescue. Carla's letter to her medical conditions. I'm a mess. Yes, I am. And it's not what I planned. Kidneys, cancer? Be darned. Wasn't ready or armed. COPD, what's that? Silly thing threw me flat. Oh no, diabetes? Legs numb as our feeties? Depressed. Oh, now and then. More or less it depends. On top of that, it's hot. Does nature care? Guess not. No, it doesn't seem fair in this hot, humid air that hangs around me like glue. I have hot flashes too. Walker keeps me going. Boy, my age is showing. But yay, I can still drive. Boy, that keeps me alive. And I have you, my friends. And I love that never ends. For my sweet, sweet old cat, as they say, that is that. So I laugh and I cry, but with God I get by. Chronic illness, go spit. No, I'll keep the lights lit because you still haunt me. So to Hades with thee. And that is Carla's letter to her diseases. She has a lot of conditions, but she's not a quitter. We have had other letters to diseases. Robin wrote a really good one. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it right now. It's been a lot of searching today already. So anyway, but if anybody else wants to just write a letter to something that, good or bad, if it's therapeutic, let's do it. Anyway, we've also done some creative things. And you saw some of that. And unfortunately, one of the bad things is that I can show me reading your stuff, but I do want to make sure you know who did it. So anyway, that's why I tell you who it is. Anywho, I didn't, like I said with Robin's letter, I was going through and I couldn't seem to find the bits and pieces where I've shown my necklaces. So I'm going to show these. Okay, this is one of them. And I tell you what, this is this one and this one. I got restrung. I restrung them with the fishing line. This one I have yet to do. And it scares me a little because handling it right now, that thread could break because it's been breaking. It came with the bucket of bolts, no, bucket of beads, and it evidently, obviously the bucket of beads mostly was like end of the production or something. But you don't find a lot of matches. You can find some. This one with the pearls, well, they're all different sizes, you can tell that. But anyway, I dread that breaking and having to chase beads everywhere. I've had to do that several times. Another thing, I've done a dog. Now, I've had people kind of think this is silly, and it is. It is funny. It clatters. Listen. That's why the beads are on the paws and stuff. And the head, it just looks like But my grandkids come here, and they gravitate toward these things. Even my 30 and 40-year-old kids gravitate toward these things. My son decided to try to make one, and I should have brought his in. It is different. It looks different, but it looks good. It's a quick good night on this big hodgepodge, so have a wonderful one, and I'll see you again. Hasta mañana.